I'm here with David Swank with Innovation Platform to talk about smart buildings.
Russ, good to be here. We've talked about three other imperatives today, where we've talked about the importance of smart business models, smart communities, smart places. But, within those communities, within those places, are a lot of buildings and homes, and a lot of investments being made by home builders, commercial builders, real estate companies, and creating smart buildings, putting in a lot of what we would call digital devices. I think one of the concerns that anyone should have today is that as we're putting in this really proliferation of digital devices, is that are we really staying in front of that from an optimization standpoint? And what really Innovation Platform is about is not just really smart buildings, but really looking at it from a standpoint of how does that building become more a part of the workforce, become more part of tying in with the infrastructure, really from an optimal standpoint. And so in our smart buildings model, we talk a lot about ways in which to get to not just a smart building, but really a digital plan for that facilities, a digital plan and how that fits into the place, how that fits into the community. Because the more that we build smart buildings that tie into the development and the development tying into the community, the more we better serve the space and the places we are in as far as the geographic location. We provide to building owners and homeowners digital use cases. In other words, what are some of the technologies that are really proven that can really help that tenant, that building owner, understand the rate of return for different investments they're making, whether that be things like solar or battery storage or whatever else that may be. We provide a digital analytic framework, and we kind of break that down to where we give that at various levels, C-suite to operational management to maintenance. And then, of course, we give them a digital optimization plan in this process. Again, we've been sharing it over and over. Pitney Bowes is a critical piece of this. Pitney Bowes asset management system allows us to really be agnostic into the fact that we can tie into any BMS system. This is not about replacing any BMS system. It's actually being able to bring that data and begin to visualize it in a more impactful way, to not only visualize it independently, but to visualize it as it relates to the broader development, as it relates to the community. So I think the term I would use, Russ, for what we've been sharing today is holistic. I think when you look at the fast emergent technologies today and how exponential that curve is today, and when you think about what's driving that curve is the convergence of technologies. But it's not just the convergence of the technologies, it's the convergence of buildings with places and places with the community. I think it is absolutely imperative today that we think about how we can really harness and capture the value of the digital economy. And again, I'll go back to it, buildings tying into developments and developments tying into communities. But being that so disruptive, it's going to require, in many cases, a new business model. So we encourage you to go back, take a look at each of these imperatives, because I think what you'll find is the reason we call them the four imperatives is because they do represent the imperatives to confront the contrast that's happening within our organizations, in our communities, in our places, and in our buildings. So I hope people stop by and talk to us.
Thank you for your time, David.